Sure, let's start.
So once again, welcome to Demo Day, Amrita Coimbatore, and we have our eminent personalities, every jury members, everybody joined. So over to our student body member, Sujit. Sujit.
Hello everyone, good evening and a very warm welcome to the jury members, organizing team and the participants. I'm Sujit, a part of Cohort 3 of Cisco's thingQbator, Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. My journey in this cohort was pretty great. We got opportunities to work with some young and energetic minds to shape up their ideas and startup dreams. So here we are, today for the demo day. We have 8+ teams with us from Amrita who will be presenting their ideas and the effect of their hard work. We also have some eminent jury members who will be scoring these ideas. Before going to the teams for our presentation, I'd like to introduce and welcome our guests who have come here to evaluate our teams out of their busy schedule. We have first Ms. Naintara Nath from Cisco, who leads the Economic Empowerment Portfolio at Cisco CSR. She manages investments in social entrepreneurship skilling and livelihoods. Previously, she was a Social Alpha, a joint initiative of the Tata Trust and the Department of Science and Technology by Government of India. Welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Sendil Kumar from Cisco, Program Manager of Cisco Launchpad. He graduated from IIM Kashipur with overall work experience of 8+ years in manufacturing and startup sector. Welcome, sir. And we have Wing Commander Dr. A. Balachandran, Deputy Director of CAR in Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, and also our SPOC of Cisco thingQbator Amrita. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And Dr. Sunita Kumari, Manager Learning and Development of Department of Corporate Relations in Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. She has 23 years of extensive work spread across marketing, sales management, and corporate training, and more. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sujit.
And we also have amazing enthusiasts from NASCOM team, Mr. Joshua as the program lead of thingQbator, Mr. Lyle Rodriguez as the program manager of thingQbator, Mr. Prashant Chowdhury as the program manager, and our space manager, Mr. Akhil. And I welcome all the team members who have worked hard to shine in their performances today. Over to Akhil sir, our maker manager, to give you all some general instructions about the event.
Thank you, Sujit. Thank you so much. So I'm moving to jury's instruction. So as we informed earlier, we sent you one Google form, and you can open the Google form, and you have to enter two codes there. One is your jury code. You have a respective jury code we sent to you. You have to write your jury code every time when you are scoring, and then we will display team code of every team. After their presentation, we will display their team code. Then you can enter the team code and give the marks to each team. And yeah, this is the scoring mechanism, and I hope everybody already go through the Google forms and the marking mechanism. So this is the simple instruction. So we are just starting our demo day cohort 3, and we have our first team here, that is team Anya. Team Anya, are you ready? Can you start?
Hello everyone, I'm Bharat from Team India. We are making a robot to solve the problems faced by hotel industry. In a hotel, check-in and check-out process of the guest is a repetitive task. A hotel is usually open 24 by 7. So the hotel needs at least 3 people in 8-hour shifts, and this leads to higher expenditure towards the hotel receptionist. Performing repeated tasks often reduces the productivity of the people. Taking into account of the current situation, people are tending to avoid human contact as much as possible. So, we introduced a humanoid robot that could solve the problems faced by the hotel industry. Our robot can recognize people and interact with them as well, making the robot fully capable of completing check-in and check-out process without any human supervision. The robot is cost effective compared to a human since it can be bought once. The robot could zero down the human contact, keeping the hotel staff and the customers safe from any contagious diseases. We introduced modules that could be attached to the robot, widening its functions. Our solution is mainly useful to the hotels who are willing to make a comeback from the pandemic. This robot can also give them much needed positive media attention. Our promise of zero human contact at the reception could also give the hotels an edge over their competitors. Our surveys show that the amount paid to a receptionist in a medium scale hotel is around 2.5 lakhs per annum. Usually, 3 people work in shifts which amounts to 7.5 lakhs per annum, but our robot costs around 4 lakhs. We would like to show you a part of work we have completed so far. Designing a robot which is capable of mimicking human motion while being cost effective has been a particularly hard problem for us to solve, which is why we came up with a robotic arm which has 6 degrees of freedom to get fluid motion. We designed the end effector of the arm to be modular so that the end effector could be replaced depending on our customer's needs. We have also worked with Kinet, which is a depth camera to get the position and orientation of the object in 3D space. Moving on to our future plans. We have seen the uses of the robot in hospitality industry. We are also planning to design various robots to work in other environments like hospitals, airports, and nursing homes with slight modifications to the existing robot. The robot could be bought in a website where the customers can customize the robot on their own. We are planning to introduce experience stores where anyone could interact with the robot. We will also manage social media accounts for the robot for advertisement. We are also planning two pricing structures. The first one is a one-time payment model with a 2-year software and hardware support for the robot. And the second is a pay-as-you-use model where our robot could be ordered on demand. Looking at the market projections for a collaborative robot, it is quite positive and expected to rise by around 41.8% in 6 years, making this the right time to make the robot. And finally, this is our team. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Moving to question answers. Juris.
Hi everyone, good evening. Just wanted to see if I can kickstart the Q&A from my side. I'm Nantara from Cisco. Team, thank you for the presentation. I realized that your use case is to work in the hotel industry, and then also you have mentioned the completed part of your projects are sort of the camera as well as the hand of the robot. Any particular reason you felt that these were the first pieces to work on, or maybe a voice bot or something along those lines would have helped in the customer experience better? I wanted to understand your prioritization in the product development journey that you have undertaken.
Yeah, actually, the bot is combined. I mean, all those features are in the bot along with the human feel. I mean, there are these kind of things, voice bots, all these things are already there. What we have new is the human feel is there. I think.
I think over to the other jury members for their questions.
Okay, this is Dr. Balachandran. Okay, one is the technical part. When you said that you will be having a different models to go into the market, did you work out an approximate costing with whatever is available, and did you check up? There are already certain kinds of this robots and natures are being built up. So, what would be your unique feature where a person will be forced to come to you rather than going to the customer?
Yes, sir. As you said, there are already some kind of models or companies working on these kind of robotics. What we have new is uh, there are some models in market which are particular for some kind of use. If you want to change your need, you are supposed to go to that robotic company and ask them for the customization. But here we are giving a free, like it's very user friendly for the user. Once the user after buying the robot, he can customize the robot by himself using an Android app or a website, even the hardware and software very easily. I mean, we are going to the very end of the user's needs.
Okay, over to other jury members.
Good evening to all. This is Dr. Sunita Kumari. I'm not a technical person, but then definitely I would like to ask on the marketing part of it, because already to my thin knowledge that I have about robotics, I know robots in the hotel industry. I know in Chennai, Karnataka and Hyderabad already one or two hotels have this robot there, and they use that robot for serving people. Apart from this, what kind of services are you really targeting on? Because as a waiter or servicing, providing food for the customers, already there exist. So, what are the other edges or problem areas that your robotic product or your product will target?
Yeah, ma'am. It's basically focused on the hospitality kind of thing. As you said, there are robots which are used for serving food and stuff, but they're unable to express the feelings. I mean, unable to connect with the customer exactly like a human. But here we are coming up, our bot will communicate with the customer with gestures. I mean, not only while serving, but it's more focused in the reception. I mean, while hosting the guest itself, the guest will get a feel of a real human.
Is it something, I'm sorry to interrupt, is it something like Sophia that you're trying to create?
Yeah, ma'am, not exactly, but mostly. I mean, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Hey, this is Senthil here. Thanks that we can team. I mean, at the outset, yeah, it's a great. You guys are trying to build a robot during the early days. So, just couple of things I want to know whether the team was able to do a secondary research or primary interviews with the end users here, the hotels, right? So, if yes, what are the insights you got from them so that has been taken into the product development? That is first question. And second question is second is more of a suggestion, probably based on your answer. I can give that. Yeah.
Yeah, we do spoke with some of the managers, kind of people from some bigger hotel industries. For example, Taj and Oyo. We spoke with them. We got some statistics from them. How much they are going to spend on receptionists or front desk managers for an year, averagely, and are they going to? I mean, buy or encourage these kind of robotics.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tatik, sorry to interrupt. You please wrap up. We are running out of time.
yeah. We spoke with them and we got the feedback, and we worked along the. I mean, according to the feedback, got it from.
Cool. Just build up on that. I mean, increase the number of people whom you are speaking so that you get more insights when you are building a product. Cool.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, team. We are moving to jury scores. We are waiting for your score submission. And next team, team Help the Helpless, the life alarm.
Hey everyone, we're from the team Help the Helpless. Yes, we know we're working on the title. And we're here to present you the life alarm. Our USP is affordability, efficiency, and portability. And we selected this because the constant attention that we give to bedridden patients and the money we spend on their overcomplicated monitoring system affects the family financially and drains the caretaker's energy. So we decided to build a 9-man suit which can help them walk, jump, or even fly. As much as I wish I was Tony Stark, we're kidding. So, Bharat, off you go.
Thank you, Rishi. Now let me take you through what we actually built. So this is basically how the system functions. We initially started off by giving the patient a button that he or she can press at the time of need. Every press would communicate over a radio channel to a buzzer alarm that is wall mounted in a place that can gather the attention of the entire house. And just like that, we let the patient shout out as and when they need assistance. But then, with a little bit of talking to a couple of our potential customers, we discovered that a majority of these bedridden patients would be paralyzed and would not be capable of even pressing the button. That is when we decided to move a step ahead and take away even that effort from the user. With the combination of real-time vital analysis that communicates over radio with zero delay, we are able to let the patient call out for help without them having to move a single muscle. This is made possible with non-invasive pulse oximetry sensors that can be attached to the patient's fingertip. This will give us real-time data about the patient's blood oxygen saturation and pulse rate. This is assessed every second, and whenever there is a discrepancy noticed in the reading, it communicates the same over our existing radio channel setup and fires the buzzer alarm shouting out for help. Now, like we started off with, the goal of the entire product is to bring down the prices to the maximum extent. Listed up here are the only expenses that will be required to build a basic prototype of the model that we are working on. The prices will only drop furthermore as and when we design the final PCB built that is optimized to carry only the components we require for the product. Next up, let's watch a small demo of the working of the prototype model. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the product demonstration of the Life Alarm by Team Help the Helpless. For this demo, we have brought to you the hardware prototype to showcase a non-abstracted idea of how the setup functions. On the left, we have the center side that includes pulse oximeter sensor that will be attached to the patient's fingertip. It gives us real-time data about the patient's heart rate and blood oxygen saturation, and the same can be seen up on the monitor here. When I put my finger on the sensor, you can notice the buzzer on the center side giving feedback for every detected heartbeat. At the same time, it also reflects the same on the monitor up here. Now, since I cannot possibly modulate my heart rate or the oxygen in my blood without risking death, I'm just going to tap on the sensor really fast to trick it into believing that the heart rate is rising really fast. Now, the system understands that the heart rate and the other vitals are going out of the acceptable ratio and triggers the function that talks over radio to our receiver setup here. And just like that, the buzzer can be turned off from the receiver end with a button. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a very healthy day ahead.
Thank you for that, Bharat. Now on to the business plan for the money talks. So to start off with, a few key activities such as public relations, collaborating with medical teams to figure out if what they're doing is right, gain funding, and also get approval for this device from the medical board. And a set of key resources such as a couple of talented engineers, especially in the PCB sector, marketing experts, financial resources, as I said before, and a certain set of intellectual resources who can help with branding, patents, copyrights, and partnerships. So for distribution, we've decided to first start off with online sales to reach more customers, and then set up certain physical stores to reach to a set of people who can't really afford internet or don't get internet. For the cost estimation, we've averaged out somewhere around 1,500 rupees. And we're going to reduce the price to a great extent because, as we've said before, our USP is affordability, efficiency, and profitability. For the initial investment, which is for 1 lakh, and this is for 60 pieces, we'd like to set aside 65,000 for manufacturing and packaging, and around 35,000 for the rest, which is company registration, website, and digital marketing. That's about it for the business plan. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Moving to juries. Yes, you are. You are. Yes, you are audible, Nandara.
Hi, Rishi, and hi to the team. I just wanted, I have a quick question actually, since this is one of the solutions we are seeing very often now, given the COVID situation, we've been hearing a lot about telemedicine and remote patient.
Yes, ma'am.
Benchmarking you have done, the kind of market research that you have done, and the comparison with the competitor products, since we've seen similar products. And of course, if you could tell us more about the pricing differential also.
But you want to go or should I go?
You can go for this one.
Okay. So market research as such, like we kind of got inspired with this one guy. He's my friend. He's called Nikhil. His dad was recently paralyzed in. He had to stay in the hospital for a very long time, but because of this COVID situation, he had to be sent home, and a lot of these monitoring systems had to be taken with him, and it was a very expensive situation. So after hearing that, we decided that we should build something like this so that it can help them out financially also. And I've asked a few other people and certain old age people if they're comfortable wearing all of this and all this thing. We've done a bit of research here, and we've asked a few doctors also if what we're doing is right. And about the pricing, the product that exists right now with this kind of facility is a bit expensive, and it's not really out there. So we decide, like we said, we want to reduce the price as much as possible, and that's basically it.
Okay, this is Dr. Balachandran. One quick question. This kind of life-saving equipment has to have a very high redundancy and reliability engineering. Did you do any research or survey or kind of a study to say that your reliability is much better and what is the kind of failure rate and things like that?
This for now, the product that we've built right now is using very basic monitoring systems such as oxygen and heart rate. So it directly reads the person's heart rate and oxygen and gives out the output, and it's just a basic threshold or a range in which the heart rate should be. So for now, we don't have to look into the exact there's no deal of how do I put this? The case of error would be very less here. You probably get a lot of false alarms, but you may not have a case wherein the patient's actually suffering and the device doesn't shout out for help.
Okay.
Hey, Rishi and Bharat. So on the same lines, right? I think you also mentioned in the deck about the approval you need to get CDSCO. So have you guys already started on preparing for it? I mean, what is the cycle there? So any insights, any research into
No,
that?
we decided to make the first prototype fully wearable ready, and then check with the CDCO and all other medical. I asked a few doctors about this. We didn't go till CDCO. I asked a few doctors around my place in Bangalore, and they said that whatever we're doing for now is fine. But then once you're giving it out in the market, that's when you need to get the approval from CDCO.
Cool. Also, if I can know, I think you also laid out the business plan, but once the product is ready with proper approval, then who would be your target? I mean, what is it? I think you spoke about the channel, but the user person, I mean, whom you are going to
The target
exactly
audience as such?
Yeah.
Okay, primarily bedridden patients, like we mentioned before, because they're the ones who actually need constant monitoring. And like I said about my friend's dad, paralyzed patients who can't really move or shout out for help, to them also.
Yeah, team, quickly wrap up. We are running out of time. Quickly wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sushi.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are waiting for jury scores. We are moving to next team, Team Bass.
Good evening. We are Team Bass, and our product is Smart Stove. Control your stove from anywhere. Our spark and motivation. Flame goes off by wind, spills from vessels. Without the user knowledge, it switches off accidentally. User forgets to put off the stove when he is in hurry. The total number of accidental deaths by cooking gas cylinder burst in India is greater than 3,000 ever since 2014. The total number of accidental deaths by cooking gas cylinder, you can see the numbers in the map. These are some articles published for the cooking gas cylinder explosion and accidents happen all over the world. What is our solution? Our solution is a smart device that can be attached to any stove, which provides live status of stove in your app, alert if possible conditions of gas leakage, remote switch off from anywhere, timer to switch off stove if you are in a hurry. Our prototype, we have printed the prototype with every sensors attached to it. Our setup. You can set it up your stove easily by just powering it on, connecting it to your home Wi-Fi, installing the app, then your ordinary stove will be changed to a smart stove. Ease of use and peace of mind. See the live status and switch off if necessary in just a click in your app. Low cost and maximum safety. Our pricing. These are the cost of the total thing, and the estimated price tends to be nearly 1,000, and we sell it in a cost of 2,000. What is our business model? Our target audience is a household with a proper Wi-Fi connection, and our future goals: build the product with a proper casing, partner with a smart stove or gas company, sell it as a separate model that can be fitted in any stove. Available solutions and competitors. Lab has created a module only with the gas detection and the timer control. It doesn't have the vessel detection, and even with that, it cost nearly $100, which is 7,000 in Indian market. It's not in the market right now. It's just a board with a pre-order thing. A demo of the prototype. You can see if the vessel is kept in the stove, it detects the stove with a minimum latency, and if the gas has been detected for a consistent time period, then it will alert the user with the gas detected message. This is our prototype of app. There is a timer, and every status of the stove will be updated in a real-time basis. Funding and featuring. Recently, our prototype has been featured in QS Wow News Journal, and we are currently funded with 600 Australian dollars by Lathrop University, Australia. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Moving to juries.
Hi team, so Senthil here again. So I think one of the common problems you have picked. So I have two questions. One is, first of all, why did you pick this? Of course, it's there for eternal now. And second thing, I think you did mention household with Wi-Fi connection. I mean, is that going to be the preliminary thing for your audience for your target audience? Or is there in a roadmap where you eliminate the Wi-Fi thing out? Because that means you are already reducing your target audience.
Yeah, actually, the motivation of the thing came while my mom keeps a vessel on the stove, and she tells me to switch it off, and I forget easily with my work, and that was our motivation. Coming to the second question, like when it's connected to Wi-Fi, then it can be accessible from everywhere. While we are accessing it from everywhere, in the sense we can the main safety feature will be enabled, like sending the gas leak detection and alerting the user can be made only if there is a Wi-Fi connection in the home. We can make it using a like offline module where it detects the gas leakage and just gives a buzzer sound. When there are no members in the house, then it will be a tragedy. So we went with a house with a proper Wi-Fi connection.
Noted. Thanks.
Thank you, Senthil. Other juries?
I have no questions.
This is Sunita Kumari here. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
I'm just continuing with the question Mr. Sendil Kumar had asked, because he said this facility is for those households who have the Wi-Fi connections. But again, even if they have a Wi-Fi connection, I don't know how reliable is the network. In fact, even with a lot of places which have an effective Wi-Fi system, sometimes it does not work. So how are you going to deal with? Do you have a set bandwidth that they should have, or how do they deal with in case they are not able to get the right kind of network connection? What is the alternative that you would be providing? I don't know if my question is very sensible, but this is what came to my mind.
Yeah, ma'am. We do thought that, ma'am. When the gas is detected, it will automatically turn off. Like, we are going to keep a servo with that, and it will automatically turn off. The Wi-Fi signal, like when there is a power cut, then the modem is going to be switched off. So that we also placed a buzzer in the module itself, so that it tries to buzz. And if there are some people in the home, then it will work through, ma'am.
All right, I have one more question on the scalability part of it. Because when I was doing a lot of research, I came to understand that slowly, the companies are turning into creating the smart stoves with all these facilities. So what will be the scalability part of yours?
Can you come again?
What will be the scalability side of your product? Now we are just creating a small, provision to fit into the stove, so that, they can monitor the state of from wherever they are. But I'm asking, what will be the scalability of your product?
Scalability in the sense, like first we are going to, when we sell it as just a module to others, then the people will think, why just my stove has everything, why should I go with a smart thing? But when we take to the market with a partnering with some gas stove company, then we will produce a total smart stove. Like, you have a smart AC in your home. What's the use of smart AC? Just when the current goes off, the inverter is going to be on, and it is going to give some chillness for some time. Even if it's not that useful, but they will try to become smarter. And it's also cheaper for user to retrofit than buy a smarter one. It's also cheap, mom, so that the people will easily think of buying the module and fitting it.
All right, thank you so much.
I don't have a question as much as I think just an input for the team, because I realized your cost is 1,000 and your price point is 2,000. And having said that, I think you get simple 2-burner stoves for about 1,000, 1,500 or so. So I'm not really sure if the pricing is used a lot of effort on, but I think that's something the team can work.
Yeah, ma'am. Like, the pricing we just displayed is the which we bought now. It's not the wholesale pricing. While we turn it to wholesale, it will be much cheaper, and we just kept the margin as 2x, which is normal industry standard. Like, 2x of the profit we keep, so that the services and the R&D departments can get it. We will try to reduce the pricing.
No questions from my side.
Thank you, juries. We are waiting for your scores. And moving to next team, team strings.
Consider blindfolding yourself and performing simple tasks. Would you be able to do it? You cannot read, write, or watch a movie or do anything, but there are millions of people bearing this darkness every day in their life. So we came up with a solution for this problem. Introducing VC for You, a spectacle for the visually challenged. Just connect, touch, and ask. When the user touches the sensor in the spectacle, the image is captured and sent to the mobile, and then this image is processed and an audio output is given. Here we are with our demo and some results.
Detect objects.
Detected person.
Where am I?
Right now, you are at 410 Kilometer, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
One of the best parts and reasons why we stand apart is cost. As you can see in the other products, all the processing done in the glass itself, which increases the cost drastically. But in our product, everything is done in the mobile, which brings down the cost, making our product much more affordable. We can also partner with blind associations, government, NGO, making our product reach a large number of people. We See For You acts as a pair of eyes for the blind, making them more self-dependent, hence making this world a better place for them. Thank you. And this is Team Strengths with our product, We See For You.
Thank you, team. We are moving to question answers.
I think a quick question here, which I think perhaps everyone would be wondering, is could you tell us a little bit more about the user research that you have done? If you've actually reached out to, the blind communities and asked them to test out your product, because I realize some of the challenges that they face are quite contextual. So wanted to see if they've had a chance to give you feedback on this product.
Yes, ma'am. We did not actually test our product yet, but we interviewed a lot of people, blind people itself, and people from blind schools, their teachers, their parents, and people around them. Based on their inputs, we have designed our device accordingly.
Could you give us examples of the feedback you received and how you've incorporated that into the device?
Yes, ma'am. Like we interviewed a lot of working class blind people. What they felt was like people try to overdo stuff sometimes trying to help them. That is where they gave us a lot of inputs. They were pretty much comfortable in their familiar places like their homes or their work areas and all those. Their main trouble was when they were traveling. Like when they were on the roads, they would like to know the bus number they're about to board. They'd like to know the place where the bus goes or the signboard that is present in front of them and all such stuff. So we have designed it more like a device which could be used outdoors.
Okay, this is Dr. Balachandra. My question is in line with the same my previous member. It's a big technology integrator. You see, I could see natural language processing, machine learning, image processing, then text recognition. There are so many small things which are involved in it. Therefore, again, I come back to the same question of until unless you check really with in a bigger field, I'm not sure that again the reliability of the product. It's a wonderful idea, fantastic concept you have taken and worked on it. Good show for that. But in my opinion, probably it has to go a little longer way because it's not all this easy to get everything compassed into a small level and then doing a recognition on it, because there are something which is there on the road which must have not been recognized, or the dictionary being created for the natural language processing is not all that easy. So probably somebody would have done it, I'm not sure. A wonderful idea. Probably again the reliability part is something which I'm looking into.
Yes.
No questions from my side, but except of a pointer asking the team to rework on the costing part of it, which I feel it is far from what you can really do. So I wish you could rework on that. Thank you.
I think, like other people highlighted, it's a great idea and great cause for which you guys are committing. Continue the effort and probably take it in a small segment probably in the region where you are right now, where for a Rotary Club or something like that. Get to know your first 5-10 customers, what is their daily to-dos in their life, and then start building your product features one by one. But great. Please continue on that.
Thank you, Senthil. We are waiting for your scores. Thank you. Next team Clinical Thinkers.
Now, let us jump straight into your did you know question. This is the statistical data showing the share of labor force in agriculture since 1300. It has gone from over 55% in most of the countries to less than 10% or even less than 5% in most of the countries by 2012. This is a clear indication that something is going wrong. Let's look into what exactly is going wrong. Farming, being the primary sector of our economy, has been facing problems from all directions, right from land to equipments to climatic changes. But there is one problem which is unaddressed by many, which is the lack of connectivity between the farmers. This connectivity issue has urged the on-field laborers to migrate to cities in search of new jobs, and it has also urged the landlords to sell their lands owing to insufficient laborers. So how exactly does lack of connectivity cause such a huge problem? Let us consider two villages, village A and village B. There is a landlord X residing in village A and an on-field laborer Y residing in village B. These two villages are just 10 kilometers apart. Now the landlord is in need of laborers to work in his land. The on-field laborer, he needs a land to work on. He needs daily wages. Now, how will the landlord know that there is an on-field laborer available just 10 kilometers away? On the other hand, how will the on-field laborer know that there is a land available for him to work on just 10 kilometers away? Now, this is the problem, which is why we are here with the solution. The farmer's messenger. We act as an intermediate between the landlords and the on-field laborers. The landlords and the on-field laborers should register to our website, and all they have to do is just notify us whenever they are in need.
If a landlord is in need of on-field laborers, we send him an SMS containing the phone numbers of all the on-field laborers in his vicinity. And also, if an on-field laborer is in need of a farm to work on, we send him an SMS which has the phone numbers of the landlords of the farms which are in his vicinity. Now talking about our target customers. Only few farmers in India are sophisticated enough to deploy mechanization in farming. The other farmers still depend on laborers for farming. Even if a farmer has machines, he needs laborers in processes where machines can't help him. So if you are a farmer in India, you need laborers. And wherever there is a need for laborers, there is a need for farmers messenger. Sugarcane is the most labor intensive crop in India, but the gross cultivated area is high for paddy and Tamil Nadu stands fourth in paddy cultivation. Hence, we have decided to deploy our application to community of farmers in Tamil Nadu who cultivate paddy.
Coming to the technology we use to solve the problem, we have a web app for the users. Every village has a panchayat office and every panchayat office has a computer, so that's where they register. Another backup plan which we have is automated messaging. We have an Android application at a backend which is responsible for reading the messages from the users and storing it into a database. We also use an API called Fast2SMS API for automated messaging. So this is our Android application. It's made completely for the backend purpose. Now let me show you how it works on emulator. Here we enter the phone number. It's the number from which I'm going to send the message. Now coming to the content of the message, it includes the name, the location, and the number of laborers that are required. You click on send message and the message is received in the phone. Now we have our own Android application in the phone where it reads the SMS and it uploads it into a database. So this is a database and the values have been updated here. Now next, moving on to our backend, we use an API called Fast2SMS here to send the message to the respective person. Now we go to the link for get SMS and we click on send. Now the message would already have been sent to the respective person based on the matching in the backend. Here we can see that the messages have been sent successfully. Just a few screen recordings of us receiving the message. So you get the name of the person and his phone number and then you can be in touch with him. So this is how our application works.
Thank you, team. We are moving to jury panel.
Hi, team. I think the problem is real, what you guys have picked up about how, and thanks for that. I have a couple of questions. So, if I remember, you told both the parties here, both the employer and the employee, right? Both of them need to register on the website. Is that first the entry point?
Yeah, that is the entry point.
Then in terms of, let's say, people who are ready to work and that too in villages, how much feasibility you are thinking whether they themselves can do it? That is one, because there needs to be a bit of, then we need to kind of bring the audience up to that point and where they go and do it, right? Whether themselves they can do it or whether they need to, I think village panchayat you did tell. That is one. Probably you have to eliminate that entry barrier. Otherwise it gets difficult further, in my opinion. Maybe you can look at that concept. The second thing is, when there's a scarcity is okay, but what if there are a lot of people, then how the distribution mechanism will work here? Let's say there are 100 people and then you need only 2 people, and then how we are going to handle that issue?
Okay. Yeah, so coming to the first question, the question was that is the entry point going to be a barrier? So initially we had this idea of an Android app, and then coming to the agriculture sector, we knew that the farmers won't be able to use Android apps and they won't be having smartphones. That's why we switched over to a web application, and still most of them may not take the effort of going and registering using a web application. So we have automated messaging where a person with any basic phone, not necessarily a smartphone, can send an SMS to us. We'll be processing with the help of the SMS. They just need to send a normal text message using the delimiters which we specify, and then they'll be registered into our forum, and then once the match is found, we send a message back to them and we use an API for that.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Audible?
Yes, you are.
Hello?
Yeah.
So answering your second question. So you asked this, how exactly these people will accept our technology. So we had conversation with the farmers actually, and what we came to know was they as far as nothing like a price tag is imposed on them, they're ready to accept any technology which would support them. So that was one thing we came to know after interaction with the farmers, because those farmers, they are ready to talk among different farmers if given the phone numbers, but they don't want somebody else to map them to a particular farmer. So as answering your case, you just told us there are 100 on-field laborers and two landlords. There are only two farms available for them, and just there's only a need for two laborers, right? Currently. So what will happen now is all the 100 will get the phone numbers of the farm owners of these two farms. And what these farm owners will do is, like, they can talk to them and they can decide whom to give the job to, because they can consider the location, they can consider the wages. That is up to the farmer to decide, because if that is done by us, then that is when farmers become hostile to our technology. So for them to use this technology, we are just giving this as it is. So it's up to them to decide which farm they have to work at and which farm they can neglect. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Cool. I think partly answered, but yeah, I would like to connect again on some other time.
Okay.
So I think picking up where Senthil left off, question that I have for the team is, since you mentioned the web application and it seems you've looked into other potential options as well, did you explore the kind of 1-800 numbers or the IVR kind of models more closely, or some kind of automated calling? Because even the input right now from the farmer side is, as you suggested, they'll go to the panchayat and they'll find the computer access there, and that's where they will list the requirement. Is there a way to do this on a feature phone that can be done? Just wanted to understand what models you have tried.
Yeah, so initially we scraped all the ideas of the Android app because that was not within the feasibility of the farmers. I mean, within the limits of the farmer. So using a normal featured phone, that's what I mentioned, that he can just send an SMS to us. So the SMS is like the normal SMS which he sends to us using delimiters. That's all we need to process the information. So he sends a normal message to us. We take information from the normal message and put it into a database. Then we process it and send a message back to him. So it's basically what happens is automated messaging, except for the initial part where he either has an option of sending a message to us or using the website in the village office.
Right. I think the point to consider would be also a helpline kind of system where they can call in and perhaps register their requirement. I'm only suggesting this, but of course, thank you for your presentation, and it's a great need that you're addressing.
Yeah, sure. We'll look onto that. And one more thing we did was, like, since it's in the farming sector, we needed to make it they should be able to understand the language. So we chose an API which with which we can send messages in all languages possible. So when we tried out in some languages like Tamil, so that it will be helpful for the farmers.
No questions from my side.
No, this is Sunita. Rohit and team, that was a wonderful idea from your end, but then I would like to know what is the kind of a market analysis or a research that you have done on this particular service that you're going to offer, because as far as the farmer side is concerned, I think these labor problems, they deal it by themselves. I don't know how many of them will really opt for such a kind of a service. So did you do a kind of a market research to understand?
Yeah, we did have interaction with the farmers where they were like, they don't want us to suggest a particular person for them and they are forced to take the person. So if they're given with the choice of people, if we provide them with a choice of people, they're ready to choose this. And coming to the business aspects, since it's the farming side, we are not expecting much of an income from the farming side, because once we force the farmers to pay for our application, they're definitely not going to be interested in it. So the only income which we're looking for is like we can add some advertisements like based on the agriculture sector. So that may be a source of income for us. And then we may link it with the government or get a tender from the government or something, so that our business aspect, that's all we are taught about our business aspect as of now.
Okay, thank you, Rohit.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, team. We are waiting for your jury score. Thank you. Thank you. We are moving to next team, team null pointers.
We are team null pointers. We are from Amrita Vidyapitham Coimbatore and our team code is AVV 13. Moving on to the problem statement which we're going to deal with is to design a smart home automation using AI and machine learning implementation in it. The major gaps identified in our project is the user may not link all the appliances to automate technology, which may result in electricity loss. Because of this monthly electricity bills might increase. This can be avoided by linking each and every item in the house and slowly implementing this solution to all the houses in the city, then expanding it to the state and country wise. The target customer and how large our target audience is. The main aim of our prototype is to help the working professionals who don't have fixed working hours, because for them it will be difficult to manage the time. Hence, with the help of our prototype, they will be able to manage the time as well as to save electricity bills, as all their appliances will be controlled remotely with the help of an app. The segment is very much popular, and since it is IT sector is very much popular in India, it will be helpful for a lot of people. The solution which we are proposing here is the electrical appliances are connected to internet with the help of IoT. The devices can also be connected using an app. The devices which needs to be automated will be selected by the customer. If he wants to keep the cost noted, means he should select lesser number of appliances. If we want to more sophisticated, means he can select more number of appliances in his house. Basically, what we'll be doing here is you collect the data set for 2 months, and the pattern will be predicted with the help of ML algorithm. All these things will be running on a server. It will be connected in a common environment. All the devices in his house will be automated. So if the user wants to switch on a particular TV or fan at a particular time, automatically it will be done with the help of machine learning algorithm. If he forgot to switch off any fan or light or any other appliances, it will be showing in our mobile app, and he can switch off the particular appliances with the help of mobile app. Now I'm handing it over to Bala.
So the main part of the machine learning part is the data set. So for our problem, we created our own data set by observing the other data set which is available in internet. The only problem is that the data set which is available in the internet is not suitable for our experiment. So we created our own data set using a Gaussian trend. So you can see the distribution of the histogram distribution in the graph shown here. And moving on with the algorithm use, we use ARIMA algorithm since since the data set we consider as less number of data points, that is only 100 data points we are considered. If we are going to extrapolate to 1000 data points or more than that, we can use LSTM, which is a deep learning architecture, which is good for which gives better accuracy. And so moving on with the parameters in all that ARIMA. In ARIMA, there are three parameters, such as P, D, Q, where P is the period, D is the order, and Q is the significant lag. So as shown in the earlier slide, the P value is 0, and so we can conclude that the series is stationary and D is 0. And moving on with Q, autocorrelation graph, you can see in the graph there's only one significant value, so we take a Q value as 1. And so moving on with the combinations, we conducted many trials and error, and we plotted a mean absolute error, and we found another value that is nothing but AIC. So for our combination, we prefer a ARIMA of 6012 as it gives lowest mean absolute error. We won't be considering AIC because it doesn't suit our project. And you can find the graph of predicted value versus test value, where green is the predictor, and blue is the test value. You can find that results is somewhat accurate. And moving on with
Thank you, team. We are moving to Q&A.
Just to clarify, did we see the full presentation? It didn't seem complete.
We had exceeded time a little.
no, ma'am. I think full presentation wasn't shown, ma'am.
Is there anything the team would like to add, especially if you're explaining the product? I think maybe if you would, I think I can yield you the time from my question for this. If you give about a minute or so and explain. Okay.
We were basically explaining about the IoT part, ma'am. So the IoT part, we used a two-channel relay, a switch, and ESP8266 for transmitting the information to internet and thereby sending the values to the server. Now, so that's what. So basically, once we send these values to the server, the machine learning algorithm will be used on it, and finally, it helps us in home automation.
I think over to the other jury.
This part we wanted to. Yes.
No questions from my side.
Hi team, probably just I don't know whether I missed it, but still I want to check who are your target audience again here?
IT working professionals, sir, mostly because they don't have a fixed working hours. So like their working hours be varying. So sometimes they might start from home at around 9 o'clock. Sometimes they may start at 10, and they might reach home at 6 o'clock at one day, and some other day they might reach home at 4 o'clock. So the way, working hours are varying, sir. So basically, they are our target audience.
Okay, just to expand further, I mean, do you have a further idea, okay, how you should go about it once you decide these are the user persona? I mean, to put it more clear, do you think you can reach out to each and everyone who falls under that category, or what is the idea for your team to go behind them? How you can target them basically?
Yes, sir. Once we are once we get that this is working, sir. We are planning to take it to the next level, sir. Like by implementing this in almost like all the houses in the locality, so that more electricity can be saved, sir. Electricity bills can be saved, sir. Basically, that's our main goal, sir, to save the electricity bills.
Cool. Yeah, I think the purpose is clear. Yeah, start building out your channels through whom you can reach out to your final audience. For example, one could be all the premium apartments which is coming out, whether they can sell the home automation along with the flat. This is a thought process, but just go and find out. Because I have come across similar proposals.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. We'll look into it, sir.
This is Sunita Kumari. I just wanted to alert you on one particular issue here because you gave me a lot of technical things which I didn't understand. But then this is one thing which I've widely read about as far as the home automation is concerned. One is you have to work with different interfaces and different networks, and you might face compatibility issues. Have you thought about that?
Compatibility issues, meaning
you have to work with different devices, right?
Yes,
when
ma'am.
it comes to automation. So you might face compatibility issues, you might face network issues, and you might face interface issues also. So have you thought about it?
Yes, ma'am. So,
Are
so
there
right.
please can, add on to it if I'm wrong anywhere.
Yes, ma'am. Regarding the net issues, so currently right now our plan is to implement it for one home and test it, ma'am. And then we have to for this home automation to work, like we need a proper net connection at both at the customer side and at the side of and at the resident side, ma'am. So that's a necessity. Like we need to focus more on establishing a secure, fast and secure internet connection, so that this makes the it makes it process more simple, ma'am.
Okay, I think you should work on this a little more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, team. We are waiting for jury scores. Thank you. We are moving to next team, Team Segment.
This is Team Segment from Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, Coimbatore. We aim to instill a sense of confidence in the dementia patients who feel helpless without the assistance of their caretakers in this pandemic outbreak. We introduce to you our product Wellbe application coupled with the smart band, which is the solution to bridge the gap in communication between patients and their caretakers. From employing the simplest yet dynamic user interface in the application to designing a basic wearable band, we are here putting our best foot forward to help you lead a hassle-free life. To implement this, we have made use of Flutter, Firebase, Arduino, and Vuforia. Our product Wellbe and the smartband helps in assisting early-stage dementia patients. The mobile app Wellbe has two user interfaces, one for the patient and the other for the caretaker. Wristband has sensors to focus on health monitoring, then has actuators, LED, and SOS feature. Notifications pop up whenever the patients receive vibrations from the band. We use AR to give them guidance in following instructions. Our USP is instilling a sense of independence in patients and enabling remote monitoring for caretakers. Let's move to the demo part. The caretaker can assign a set of activities to be done by the patient in his UI and set reminders. These tasks get updated in the patient's interface, where the patient can view the assigned tasks. Now this is the caretaker's interface, and this is the patient's interface. When the patient steps out of his or her house, the caretaker can see that in his interface and could also set a geofence for the patient. The patient finds a set of instructions about sanitizing, wearing mask, and following social distancing norms. When the patient crosses the geofence set by the caretaker and the patient will immediately receive a notification. The smart band vibrates gently and the LED glows, triggering the patient to see his mobile to understand what has gone wrong. When the patient experiences a panic attack, the spike in his pulse rate will alert the caretaker. The caretaker can play songs to the patients to make use of the powerful nostalgic element to calm the patient down. The patient's app has the refreshment feature too. The LED in the band glows, which alerts the patient to check his mobile. The band has a SOS button, which when pressed by the patient would connect him with the caretaker right away. The call option is also available in the patient's UI. When at home, the patients are reminded to wash their hands frequently. Making use of augmented reality and image detection, simple instructions are played as videos to guide the patients. This instruction is played as a video when the respective image is identified. Now we let you sneak a peek at our hardware design. These are the modules, sensors, and actuators that we have used. So far in this thingQbator program, we invested our time in developing the application Wellbe. We have designed the hardware and it's yet to be tested. Our next step would be to work on integrating augmented reality to assist patients by playing video commands. We plan to roll out our products in clinics as well as nursing homes where caretakers struggle to cater to multiple patients. In fact, such talks are already underway. Then, through advertisements, we aim to expand our customer base globally. Emerging as the winner of India-Australia Rehack Challenge, our team has been given entry to the Global Market Access Program under the Australia-India Innovation Bridge Program. Besides, we would be getting fast-tracked to level 3 of 100 Open Startups Global Program, and this could give us additional industrial exposure. With a unique selling proposition being the sense of self-confidence that our product brings to the patient's life, along with enabling the caretaker with remote monitoring, our product appeals to the emotional intellect of the customer and is bound to succeed.
Thank you, team. We are moving to Q&A.
I think Great job, team. Very cohesive presentation. I just wanted to again go back to the question we've been asking to other teams also, specifically because you have picked a a community that is has particular needs and therefore are a special type of user. What is the type of user research you have done? You've mentioned in your GTM strategy you'll be working with assisted homes and other things, but is it have you been there? Have you visited such patients? Have you evaluated their needs and requirements? Please share how that feedback has shaped your product design.
Okay, so to answer your feedback initially, so we were thinking about helping the dementia patients, but initially our concentration was to help them with navigation. But then when we started talking to these doctors, we realized that these people didn't require so much sophisticated solutions. They wanted some basic solutions that would enable them to ease out their everyday activities, because we are talking about the people or the age group of people whose digital confidence is low, and these people have, like, over a time, these people, due to their cognitive impairments, they tend to forget their routine activities. So when we talked to these doctors, they gave us the input as to look into the everyday activities of these people and then try to work on something that would help them and help creating the level of confidence in them when the caretaker is far apart. And especially in this pandemic situation, this is the problem that we're facing right now, because people like caretakers, some people have caretakers at their home, but there are a number of people whose caretakers live in a faraway place, so they will not be able to travel to their place given this pandemic situation. So this is how our talk with the doctors went, and we did talk to a couple of patients, like the early stage dementia patients, and when we also asked them about, so we were talking about the hardware part, right? Asked the patients as to why they didn't go for some sophisticated smartwatches that are already available. So that's when we realized that they didn't want such kind of hard digital components, because that makes them feel agitated even more, because they have too much of options to fiddle around with. We wanted to keep the design as simple as possible and the application as dynamic and as easy as possible.
Thank you. Over to the other jury members.
Okay, this is Dr. Balachandar. Again, it's all community pickup. I take the question to the next level from Nayanthara. When you pick up the community issues, there are a lot of research, basic fundamental research have to go on. Good idea. It's a very simple product. The patient will not feel agitated towards such kind of new devices which are being either in hand or anywhere else of the part of the body. But the issue is again back into the same place where when you do into a community thing, have you gone into the basic fundamental research of one is the scalability, of course, other is the technology part, because all these devices have to work 100% or more than 100% in a reliable way. So from that part, did you do any fundamental research on the kind of components which you have picked up and your design, development, reliability, and all the stuff?
Okay, so talking about reliability, like health monitoring, as in we just have a one heart rate pulse sensor to check the heart rate. And talking about reliability, we haven't thought much about that, as in we are just in the prototyping stage. So we need to set a trade-off between the price and the reliability factor, the values that the sensors give. So when we talk about rolling out the product into the market, we would go to some high-priced sensors which are more reliable, even more reliable than the one that we're using right now.
Okay.
Probably, I don't have a question, but the clarification, because in one of the other presentation we did come across for the necessary of the approval. So again, I'm coming from a different industry, but do we need? I do see an approval required here to pass it on this to the patients. So have the team has been thought about it?
Yes, sir. We realized that it is pretty hard to get into the medical industry with such kind of products. That's why we kept one simple thing to measure the pulse rate. Now, since we are in the prototyping stage, we haven't really thought much about that. So as I said earlier, when we are actually rolling out the product, the complete prototype, we would be thinking much into it, and we'll think about how to proceed to get such certifications.
Cool. Yeah, just to add, I think probably even the other team should not wait much. You can acquire some knowledge around it, and whenever the time comes, you are more prepared when you go for an approval or something. Otherwise, there might be some backstep again when you are facing it. So that's more of suggestion from our end. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
No question from my end. That's a great idea, Amma. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, team. We are waiting for jury scores. Thank you. Moving into next team, Team Oasis.
We are Team Oasis. Before introducing a product, I'd like to explain the problem that we're trying to solve here. We all want to exercise, right? But how often do we do that? Statistics state that 57% of the population don't exercise. And when we were looking for the reason, we consulted a gym trainer, and his opinion was exercise is an essential part of life, and gym is a great place to work out because of the assistance that you can get. People don't visit gym because of the form of exercising, because of lack of assistance. And the ones who know how to exercise properly often fail to find the motivation to exercise consistently. Clearly, the problem that we are trying to solve here is how to help users exercise correctly and how to motivate them to exercise consistently. Well, that's where we bring our product, which serves both purposes. For the first part, we created a machine learning model that monitors the user while performing a particular exercise and provides a voice-based feedback if a person is doing that exercise correctly or not. So now let's look at the demo.
Perfectly done, stand up. Sit down. Knees in front of toes, stand up. Sit down. Perfectly done, stand up.
This is the AI game we created for squats specifically. It records the count and it calculates score. It is a basic prototype of the type of game that we are working on. We have also created a VR application which can be downloaded in any smartphones. This VR game is for the same exercise that we saw before, which is in AR. We have designed the game with different levels with increasing difficulty, which has proven to motivate the users to exercise consistently. We are planning to make predominant difference by adding extra features like posture correction and VR gamifications. Our creative solution to collect dataset for new exercise and scale efficiently is to create a portal for trainers to upload the dataset, and they will be rewarded accordingly. There are 2 types of application. Free version that's available to everyone with posture rectifying feature for selective exercises, and there is premium version which is available to paid users with all the features and VR game with increasing difficulty level, starting with basic exercise and proceeding to levels with more complex exercise sequences. Our product is available as a web app or in Play Store. VR game is available in smartphones, and contemporary fitness applications cost over 1,500 rupees. We decided to fix our premium version cost as 1,600, which has posture correction feature, and 1,800 with VR game. Not all smartphones are compatible with existing VR headsets, so we would build our own VR headset and fix a profitable selling price. Our app is for everyone who wants to exercise. There are beginners or new consumers who need posture correction feature in order to properly exercise, and there are experienced consumers who are really into exercising, and we believe the VR game would keep them motivated to use our app. If confident enough, they can contribute datasets for our application for some reward. There are numerous workout tabs with basic functionalities, and there are platforms that are handled by the gym trainers where they virtually monitor the users. We are using the machine learning model for that purpose, and we have decided to use the gym trainers to collect datasets instead. There are VR and AR games built specifically for a single type of game. VR games the hardware, so they are not accessible to everyone, whereas our app offers more versatile exercises. Our next step would be to make the gym trainer platform more interactive, and for initial release of the workout assistant, we require a few more datasets and might have to consult multiple trainers. whereas AR and VR apps are ready to be released in the market, and for VR apps, we might have to build the VR.
Thank you, team. We are moving to question answers.
Hi team, I think it's an interesting area which you guys have picked it up. But my question revolves around the motivation factor for why the demographic what we have today is not into exercising regularly, right? So my question here is, bringing in VR will attract all kind of customers, or is it like pointed towards certain segment within the overall customers whom we are targeting?
To answer your question, I would like to say we want to attract all the customers, but it will be false because right now, as far as I know, even I see friends who install a game workout app and just uninstall it within 2 weeks of time because it's too boring. So our app is focused on motivating people who want to exercise consistently rather than attracting new users. So in future, maybe we'll be trying out new methods to attract new users who are not motivated to exercise at all. So right now, our motivation is to attract users who want to exercise but are failing to find the motivation.
Cool.
Okay, this is Dr. Balachandra. It's a wonderful idea using augmented reality and virtual reality. One of the team in the Cohort 1 or 2, I don't remember exactly, also was into this gamification. Their target audience was basically the IT and IT industry personnel because they have been sitting on a wrong posture for a very long time and things of that nature. So there was a set standard pattern, and they were able to fix up the kind of exercise in a manner which is fitting that particular audience. Here, since you answered to Sendil that you're in an open kind of a lookout, it's a suggestion from my side. You have to kind of fix it up because a lot of this kind of products are likely to come into the market, and unless you have a single USP which has a better rated equipment than somebody else, it is going to be a difficult task. So probably you have to focus on certain particular segment and design your gamification accessory using VR to make sure that that particular set of people get satisfied. Probably you can build up the similar thing for somebody else, but with a different kind of features.
Sure, sir.
And no questions from my side.
No questions from my end too.
Maybe I like to add a point along with Dr. Balachandran what he said. So my personal point suggestion here is it would be a good worth the exercise to look at how we are doing the child upbringing, right? Whether at a young age, whether we are exposed to exercising regularly. If not, then there is no habitat, right? So maybe that could be one of your segment. And given VR gaming, it will be more attractive. Just go and research about what differentiate your customers. Like IT is one, and then different age groups are there. So and then see how your product can go attract whom most.
Type of people that we have interacted with so far have been between the age 18 to 40. So after hearing your opinion, it's definitely, I think it's worth the shot to try for children too. So thank you for the suggestion, sir. We'll try it.
Exactly in line with Senthil, because the previous team had two focused attempts. One is for the spinal cord, because most of the time the IT industry personnel are sitting and working, looking at the laptops or whatever it is, and their postures are not perfect at all times, and many of them sometimes don't take a break in between. So the previous team had the gamification exercise basically for the spinal cord, and of course on the shoulder side, because you guys keep carrying the laptop all along and working for a very long time. So it was for the shoulder as well as spinal cord. So that's why I just wanted to tell Team OSS, it's a very, very open-ended kind of a thing. If you could focus on some particular area and then build up on that and move on to the next area, then it'll be easy for you to catch the customers.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Those calls. So this is the end of our team presentation, and once again, thank you all the. Thank you so much. I was going to the closing remarks. So I request Nayanthara Nath for a few words.
I just thank everyone for having me as a jury member. It's always a pleasure to be a part of events like this, and it's always easier to be a jury member than it is to be on the other side. So I think congratulations to all the teams. You've done a great job, and I know the demo day is a culmination of a long journey of that you've had with the thingQbator team, with the NASCOM team, with the faculty members on the ground. So great work to all of you, and I'm glad that such innovative ideas are coming out, and that's always good to see. So thank you, and very happy to be a part of this.
Thank you, Nayanthara, and Senthil Kumar, a few words.
Thanks to NASCOM and then Cisco team internally to have me here. One biggest motivation to be here is probably a decade back when we were completing college, we were not kind of involved in such activities as a student. So it's great to see your involvement. And one other suggestion would be is keep engaging your network. Start discussing more outside whom you know from your network, and then because a few years back I was not well versed within the startup ecosystem. Today probably I know at least half of them. So start conversing with more people. The more you converse at this stage, you will get more opportunities, more ideas, and then you can definitely build upon that. Yeah.
Thank you, Senthil. And moving into our SPOC, Dr. Balasar.
First of all, I would like to congratulate all the teams which has presented today. It's absolutely outstanding. It's all in Hindi they say unnis bees ka farak hai. It's just a matter of little bit here and there, but otherwise your ideas and the way you work is wonderful, and you are keeping the Amrita's flag high. I'm very happy about it. The point number 2 is that the demo day, as Nayanthara pointed, it's a culmination of all your hard work. And I remember last time when we went to Bangalore with 3 more streams selected, we had a wonderful fun. And point to be noted by Mr. Joshua, please make sure and pray that all this pandemic situation gets closed faster, and we are looking eagerly to come to Bangalore and have a fun day. That's for sure. Moving to Akhil, great work. With Akhil, I know that I can plan my backup time at least 5 minutes before what is the scheduled time given. Today also, yes, maintained the same thing. Good work, Akhil. And thank you so much to my jury friends, Nayanthara, Senthil Kumar, and Sunita Kumari ma'am. You have done a great job. Thank you being part of this particular day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the encouraging words. And Dr. Sunita ma'am.
Yes, first of all, hats off to the great work that the teams have done, and congratulations to the team. And thank you so much for having me here. NASCOM and Cisco, thanks for the opportunity. It's definitely an honor to be here. And I know, being a non-technical person, I felt really great listening to the technical stuff which the students have presented, and they have definitely done a wonderful work. But only one small piece of advice I would like to give all the teams to do a little bit more of market research and to understand the competitive edge, so that their products can stand unique in the market. And it was great listening to all the jury members, and definitely, as Mr. Senthil Kumar rightly put it across, I don't think, we people, like at least 2, 3, like Bala sir, Senthil Kumar sir, and myself, we didn't get an opportunity like this in the college. So students, you're very lucky. So let them make the best use of the opportunity given. Thank you so much for this grand event.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And we are moving into Joshua, our program lead.
Thank you, Akhil. So, first, I would like to thank all the teams, like you, who have been wonderfully doing all the presentations were beautifully done. And Amrita University, I have been seeing since the beginning, like there's a very good consistency and a very good participation, and hats off to our SPOC, Dr. Bala. You have been really contributing a lot, and good cooperation that we have been getting from Amrita University. And thanks to Cisco for this support, all that they have been doing it, and also for the valuable feedback from all the jury members. I'm sure the teams will be taking up a very good feedback from all that you have been giving. And being thingQbator, being as an incubation center, they are almost like teams look like almost like market ready. Yeah, there has to be some market study like how Sunita ma'am also was referring to, and it will be really a useful thing. And we thank you all for taking up your time and joining with us. And thanks to Nayantara from Cisco for representing this project and coming and joining with us. And thanks to Senthil for all your valuable feedback. Bala sir, nothing to tell about you. You're always there involved with us every time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and thank you, Mrs. Sunita, for joining us, taking your time and coming with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks to our mentors, Lyle and Prashant. They've been contributing their whole time throughout the year, actually, with all the people that specifically they've been involved completely, and that's why they are very silent every time now, actually. Otherwise, they're the ones who are more interacting with the team, thanks to all their contributions. And yeah, none but the least, Akhil, who has replaced Sharon over here, and I'm sure Bala is always very happy with Akhil, like never able to see any gap left over there, actually, and Akhil has been really doing wonderfully and organizing this whole stuff. And thanks to the student body, I should not miss you guys. You've been doing wonderfully, and that's what we are looking for even going forward. You are going to run the whole project, and we appreciate all the way you have been contributing and beautiful coordination. And thanks for the whole project. Thank you for giving me time. Thank you.
Well said, sir.
So thank you very much for all the teams and all the students, all the eminent personalities gathered here. So we are closing this call. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you all.